didn't get on film. There he is there. Things you see when you don't have your gun. I left my gun sitting up on the hill here, but maximum thing. Ridiculous, isn't it? It's 240 yards. There's a prick of a thing to get up there. I've been over there. It is pretty bloody steep. Jesus. Not that I was going to shoot him anyway, but always good to see. I hope like fuck I got him in the bloody viewfinder because I can't see the viewfinder without my glasses. Well, ridiculous head for a spiker, eh? I had to take him out of the gene pool. Quite a big spiker. The deer here are bloody huge, but ridiculous. Massive specimen. I get the price of the bigger spike. That's about it. But these Hornady SST Super Performance ammunition, fantastic. Bullet holes there. He was standing about here. He only walked up over there and then came back down here, and that was it. And it's a blood trail a blind man can follow. So, but now I've got 4 hours of pain carrying the bugger out in pieces. I think he's not much bigger than a big hind, so with a bit of luck I can get them all boned out and in the bag. Might be a struggle, but we'll see. Right, some of you may be wondering why I shot the scungy spiker instead of going and having a go at the fellow that was about 180 on the Douglas. Well, it's quite simple. If you shoot the fellow at 180 on the Douglas, you ain't going to grow to 200 on the Douglas score. So, personally, I exercise restraint on the trigger. And I'd say, well, why shoot the spiker when, you know, the eating qualities aren't that flash on the stag, especially in the raw? Well, basically, I left the hinds because they're breeding, and basically I've exercised restraint on shooting the hinds here for the last 4 years because the Department of Conservation dumped 1080 all over the place and effectively ruined the hunting. And maybe this spring I'll start shooting the hinds, but as they are starting to come up. But if you don't manage your own hunting, then even on public land when other people can come and shoot the shit out of the place, you're just ruining your own sport. And the stag's going to get made into sausages and salami, and you won't know that it's a stag. The other thing is people don't look after their meat, which is bloody irritating to me. And they go into all this effort of shooting a bloody deer, and then he even saw it in Greg Julie's episode a while back where they hung the meat up in muslin, keep the flies off it, and of course the muslin just blew, the flies just blew straight through the muslin. I mean, I stopped using muslin in 1985. That's how far out of date it is. You got other people who say, oh, sprinkle pepper all over it. Yeah, well, you got to carry the pepper in. And it does sort of work, but the flies find a way to blow around it. Oh, spray it with the black flag, fly spray basically. Yeah, well, do you want to spray your meat with black flag? When you don't need to, you can just get a fly bag made out of the same stuff that's at the back of the curtains. I'll show you an example later. then you can store your meat in it quite fine. The flies can't blow it, and it keeps it perfect. The biggest problem that people do when they get a deer is they don't cool it down as fast as possible. It's exactly the same as fishing, where you need to go out with a chili bin, with a frozen water bottle, and put some water in it and get a frozen slurry basically going, and then stick your fish in it. Well, the red's been running around chasing girls. If I put my hand in his guts, it'd be damn near cook. And what happens is that the people leave the fur on, they don't break it up, they don't watch for contamination around where he's pistoled himself, and the end result is that you end up with shithouse meat. Cool it down as fast as possible. That means take the fur off, break it down. I'm not going to bloody go up that bloody Razorback Ridge, because the entry's way over here, way up here, and then back to camp, and from here, with a full pack on, with the meat that I've got at the moment, it's about a 4-hour walk. Carrying, I'm not going to be carrying anything that's surplus, so no skin, no bone, just the meat that I'm going to take to the butcher. And the bonus about that is that they don't sting you $10 to skin and bone out your hindquarters, and you can just drop it off at County's Custom Killing if you're in Auckland on the way home. So they have a hunter's chiller that you can turn up to at all hours of the night, which is invariably what happens, and leave your meat there. And then you get to see all the real guys who've got access to private land, who they just bring the carcass in complete with the fur on, guts out. They haven't even carried it because they haven't cut the hocks or anything like that, and they just hang it up. Whereas you and hunting public land, I've got to carry it a long way. So the secret about being able to process an animal like this, I think I can get the whole lot in my bag, well, and plus a bit on the outside. Otherwise, I'd basically cut all the meat off from the back here, right, and put that in my bag, and then hang that up in a fly bag, and come back, the next day or the day after to pick it up. So we'll see how much meat I've damaged on the other side, and see how we go. The stag this size is, if the other leg's all right, I might have a bit of a problem. But anyway, in which case it'll be 10 hours of pain rather than 4. 2 hours over, 4 hours back. So, alright. Right, so that's the other side. My bullet hole's over here, so basically through that way. Basically I did a neck shot from 350 yards. How's that, eh? And yeah, so to process this, I'm basically cutting down here, peeling the skin back, taking the front leg off, boning it out, peeling the skin back here, taking the back steak and the neck meat, and then I'll roll them over and I'll do the other side exactly the same, and then we'll worry about what I do with the hindquarters afterwards, depending on how much I've got here. So this is the next stage. You basically open up the side of the animal while it's on its side. You can see the bullet hole just here. And basically try and take as much meat off the ribs and the neck and the leg all in one go. And basically then we're going to go take it over there and hang it up in that tree and bone it out, because there's no way that I'm taking all this bone out of here. Okay. Right, we've dealt to the front leg and a bit of the neck meat. Unfortunately, I can't take all the neck meat because indiscretion with bullet placement. And now it's the back stake on this side, and then we'll roll him over and do the same on the other side. Right, now we've got the front legs off. I managed to get a bit more neck meat off the other side, and got the eye fillets out, back stakes out, and I've got bags full, and I think I might be coming back for the hindquarters. I'm basically going to cut it off and then go and hang it up there because it's easier to do, and then yeah, see how far I get. But I think I'll be coming back tomorrow to pick it up. When it comes to chopping off the back legs, there's two joints. Hopefully it can come out. There's one here and one there. You see the sort of like a bump here, and the other bumps here as well. Well, you go to the back bump and you just drive your knife straight through it, and then you can just chop it off to here and here. I don't know if I can do it and hold the camera at the same time, but you see how easy that was. Oops. But basically you can stick it through like so, and you're sweet. Now I've got to get the other hand in. And there you have it, hung up. You notice if you put the rope round twice on the tree that you're pulling up on, you can pull it up and then hold it so it doesn't come back down on you. So just makes life a lot easier. And basically I've got a bit of string here that I can attach to that leg. I can skin it, cut it off, and then process it, and then come back and do this one. That's the plan. Well, basically I can't get both bits in my bag, even with my spare bag on the outside. So I've got to come back tomorrow. So this is the fly bag. It's about 6 foot long by about 600 in diameter, and it's the same stuff that goes on the back of the curtains. You can see how it's got a very fine weave to it. I don't know if it comes out in the camera. And the flies can't blow through it. So the wasps can't eat their meat through it either. And basically weighs next to nothing, takes up no space in your bag, and you can basically shoot a deer like this, leave it sort of, you know, cooling like that, up in the shade somewhere, and take the rest of the meat home. And you basically need two. So all you have to do is go down to Spotlight, which is a Manchester supply place, you know, they sell curtain material and shit like that, and give the old ladies a thrill. Big burly hunter going in there and asking for the fly bag material, and then just take it down to the local Indian tailor and get them to sew it up in a bag. You can't rely on women these days to do it, because most girls these days don't even know how to operate a sewing machine. So, and it costs you $10 for the tailor to do it, and I don't know what the material's worth, probably $20 or something. But you need two, one at camp and one out in the field. And that solves all your fly blow problems, because you want the home executive to eat the venison when you bring it home. You don't want it covered in maggots or you know, mountain herbs and all that sort of shit. So they get a bit fussy, their home executives. You know, these are the type that like going to the supermarket and getting skinless, boneless chicken breast and think it's good food. It just tastes as crap. But anyway, you got to do your best to get the meat in perfect order, and the best way is to cool it down, and even if it rains it's not too bad. It's quite cold, and these are surprisingly waterproof. The water just seems to run off it, so it has to really rain like crazy for it to be a problem. And there you have it. Nice cool breeze blowing through it. We'll keep it nice and dry. Hopefully the local pig population doesn't turn up. I do usually like to have it a little bit higher, but that's how high it's going to be today. And if you're worried about all the carcass and everything that's down here, the pigs will clean this up, don't you worry. Hopefully it works. We're 6 o'clock and we're at the top of the Razorback. Wasn't too bad, 2 hours to, no, hour and a half, choice. Hour and a half to get up, and there'll be another 3/4 of an hour to go down, so that's not too bad. I'm getting fitter. And it's pitch black and no GPS, no compass. I've got one. She's all old school stuff, this, which is head down, follow your nose, bush bash your way home. And, yeah, that was beer time. Right. This is the cocksock to my suppressor, DPT suppressor. Very nice bit of kit, but I was coming down the dark last 2 nights ago. He got caught up in the bush lawyer, and it's the second time I've lost it. Managed to recover, but yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do. I might have to put a bit of F2 around the thing and stick it to it. I don't know, but they do come off. So we've had a day of rain, so I was planning to get back yesterday, but yeah, I've had a day off. Weather comes out, it's pissing down. I'm going to get fucking wet. So Legion, I do go out in the rain. It was supposed to be fine today. Yeah, right. Right, just back here 2 days later, chopping up the meat. No fly bows, no, what do you call it? Mountain herbs or anything like that. Nice, clean, set meat, which is reasonably cool to touch. So it's going to be really good, this stuff here. And this is spiker that's still got some fat on it at the end of the raw. Right. And here we are at the end of the trip with good 60 kilos of venison, and all stored in fly bags, so there's no flies on it. And what don't you do? Well, you can store it in a plastic bag to get back to the car, yeah, but you don't put it in the chili bin, because by the time you get to Auckland it'll be off. Because the reason why these fly bags work is that the moisture's coming out of the meat, and it gets evaporated in the breeze, because the breeze is going through it, and that cools it down, because evaporating water takes heat with it. And it's just like you being on a motorbike in a wet swanny, screaming down the road, you freeze your tits off. Exactly the same thing going. And when you put it in a plastic bag, it sweats because the water can't get away. Water's coming out, and so it doesn't cool down. And so in a plastic bag, it rots. And if you put it in a chili bin, it's like a plastic bag on steroids, because the heat comes from within. And by the time you get to Auckland, you open the bin, it's well and truly buggered. So the best story is to stick it in a plastic bag to get it out of the to the road end, and then on a really warm trip, you stop off at the gas station and throw some ice in the bag, and by the time you get to Auckland, the meat's well and truly washed and nice and cold. So how's that, Lockie?
Yep.
Time to do it?
Yep, time to debone it.
Well folks, that's what 63 kilos of sausages and salami looks like. And we also had, I don't know, 10 or 12 kilos of backstake in that pile of venison.